What's up, everybody? Welcome to round number 3 of my local game store's store championship that I had the pleasure of both judging as well as providing this post-event commentary for. On our left, we've got Shanks. On our right, we've got even cooler Shanks, Altart Shanks. But looks like Shanks on the left did end up losing the die roll, being forced to go first in this matchup. Curious what kind of build this Shanks is running versus the other one. I've seen a few different lists floating around. I've seen a straw hat build. I've seen, your more traditional Shanks build. Kind of getting a peep of the hands here. We see a Nami on the left and a Uta on the right, which likely means the Shanks on our left is going to be rocking the new straw hat build, whereas the Shanks on the right is going to be your more classic red-haired pirates build, maybe with a little bit of extra spice. We see a 10-cost Shanks go into hand. Notably, that's the one that does KO something. But we see three Don here on the other left side here. Going to play out the Sanji. No reason to swing 5Ks into Shanks because, that's just a skill check at this point. Does the Shanks use their leader ability? Most certainly will at this level of competition. Both of these players are currently 2-0 going into table 1. This is currently table 1. We're going to see 6K go at lead. Just going to take that one. Shanks just immediately letting one slide through. Kind of following my philosophy of, am I a 5-life leader? Sure, the first one's free. We're going to see a 6K go into lead with Sanji. Sanji on the other side, too, so it looks like maybe this Shanks build is running some red-haired pirate support, maybe with a few additional Straw Hat cards. But now we're going to see the new Monkey D. Luffy come down 6K, so double 6Ks this turn, triple 6Ks this turn. We've seen a 2K come out of hand for one. We've seen Shanks take the other, and then this third 6K is going to go in here. I don't think Shanks has used leader effect yet, so could just use leader effect plus a 1K, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Going to go back to our Shanks on the right turn. Curious, again, will we see a 5-drop Monkey D. Luffy come out of this Shanks? So we're going to get ourselves kind of a board mirror to a degree. But that new Sanji card, very, very good. Very good card. The fact that it draws you a card when it's KO'd is pretty awesome, as well as just being a nice little beat stick. So a beat stick for one turn and a free card for another. It's pretty nice. We're going to see 6K go into lead, going to get a 2K here. And then we're going to see another good old Marco come down. Marco, maybe Marco's been... I've been seeing a lot of Shanks builds start running Marco again, likely for the Zoro matchup, but also incidentally pretty good against Sanji, as it is a 3K body that can just easily be KO'd. No reason to commit any additional resources for that, but we're going to see Shanks on the left going up to 7 Don. Got to make sure you untap that Luffy here. There's no freezing effects going on here. I do see a 10-drop Shanks in hand. See a Beckman as well. Could play the Beckman out. Very likely that he'll be able to clear the Marco pretty easily. Notably, it is a trash effect, so it gets around Marco's on KO ability. Also, notably, gets around Sanji's on KO ability. But I think what's going on here could end up. Is this when I'm called? Oh yes. All right. It's me again. You're gonna see. Are you gonna see my hands? Are you gonna see my feet? This is raw in the room. I'm just like watching the footage. I didn't edit this footage ahead of time. So we're gonna have these situations where something happens, and right now your boy's getting called. We got a judge call. I think there was a potential mistake on the amount of cards. I don't think, and I wasn't. See, funny enough, I was here for this judge call. I did this judge call, and I'm not even paying attention in the post commentary booth. But I'm pretty sure. This Shanks player did not draw a card for turn, and I think that's just what we're confirming here. So I kind of walk over. He does a little bit of explaining. Drew countered 1K counter, 2K counter. Sanji drew an extra card, kind of counting up cards in hand, cards in life. Hey, speaking of, look at them hands. Look at that hand. That's my hand. But just making sure that we're on the right amount of cards, and I think I'm just trying to reassess with the board state here. Okay, so we countered with that one. We countered with that one. We drew with this one because I was like, this isn't mathing up correctly based on the amount of cards and what I've seen. But with the Sanji draw, it does put us at the part where he does get the draw to ensure that we don't miss that. Because again, drawing at the start of turn is incredibly important, and we'll see me leave the frame here. I'm gone. Judge issue resolved. Yes, very important that we get things like this clarified, because we don't want a situation where one player is like, I didn't draw, and the other player is like, oh, you totally did. So we gotta get in there and make sure it's good. But I'm pretty sure in this specific scenario, both players are on the same page. Definitely agreed that the Shanks on the left did not draw a card for turn. So we went ahead and resolved that. I just gave him a little warning, and we moved on. So we start with the Beckman into the Marco, cleaning up the Marco pretty cleanly. We're gonna see a 6K and then another 6K. Shanks does take, I think letting one of those go, or taking the hit on one, countering out of the other. We're going to see a 6k come back. Notably, the Shanks on the left just never really dealt with the Sanji. So that Sanji's just going to keep pinging away at Shanks every turn for 6k until he decides to commit some resources to attack into it. But we're going to see the trade of the blows, the Shanks mirror match. Beckman into Beckman. Beckman going to clear the Luffy. A quite valuable target. Just always being able to make your leader 6k for the turn is pretty darn strong. See another Beckman come down potentially, but unless we have some cost reduction, not going to be able to clean up the other Beckman. And looking at the hand, does not look like that is the case here. Got another Sanji in hand, as well as some additional 2Ks. We're going to see a 7K likely going into lead here. Could get a -1 with leader effect and a 2K to get out of that, and that's exactly what's happening here. So just commits a 2K counter and a -1 on leader ability. We're going to see another 7K. This is going to require 2 cards, 0 cost event, plus a Shanks. And then now we're going to play out Beckman. Beckman is going to prevent the draw on the Sanji, and then passes back to good old Shanks' turn here. Shanks to the right has a bit of a board, but lost a bit of the board here. Double Beckman is a little annoying, but they are on the 10 Dawn turn. They did pitch one Shanks. It's possible they could have another. We're going to see a 7K go into the opponent Shanks here. Just going to go ahead and take that. No trigger. Does see a Lucky Roo back into hand. And we're going to see 10 drop Shanks come down. 10 drop Shanks going to try to clear the Beckman. Just wanted the opponent just confirming where the attack was going. But this is our first 10 drop Shanks of the match. Now we are at the 10 Dawn turn for the other Shanks. So likely we could see the 10 drop Shanks from his hand come out. And now at this point it's a battle of the Shanks. Both players are going to have a slightly smaller board. -1K is going to go across the board if that Shanks does meet the table. We do see a Rayleigh as well. Rayleigh could be played, I guess, to take out the Uda, right? There's not enough cost reduction at this current point to allow Rayleigh to take out a Beckman, unless he had an additional cost reduction card. But likely what we're going to see this turn is potentially the Shanks here. Just Shanks to clear the other Beckman, right? And then just kind of trading blows on Beckman's. Shanks coming after his first mate here. But a little bit of a... Once the 10 drop Shanks comes on the board, things start to get a little tougher. We're going to see... Oh, looks like a little misstep there. Shanks does apply -1000 on both turns. So I think we're going to play the Shanks out here. Now we're going to go 6K into 6K here, prompting no counter out of the Shanks player here. And then now we're going to get a 12K or an 11K into lead here. Shanks just going to take it and pass back to our Shanks on the right. No, Shanks already on board. I'm not sure what the rest of the hand looks like. I haven't had a very good see here. And looks like, yeah, you can in fact do the Rayleigh play now that you have a Shanks on board. So giving -3K to the Beckman with the -1K from Shanks already allows Rayleigh to clear the Beckman. And then that other Shanks has -2K, right? So technically -3K. So that Shanks is currently a 9K, a 14 going into a 9K here. So... gonna need a little bit of counter to get out of that. At least 3 2Ks, right? So if you 2K once up to 11K, 2K twice up to 13K, gonna need at least 3 2Ks to save the Shanks right now. That is almost all the counter in hand here. Yeah, this should be enough as well. So I think the 5K should meet it. Or I guess now. See, I'm messing myself up because there's a Shanks on the other side too. So that Shanks is actually swinging for 13 into a 9. So 5K counter will get out of it pretty easily. And now other Shanks, a little bit of a pickle with the Rayleigh on board. There's a whole lot more pressure now for the Shanks on the left to be able to deal with things here. And then now very cleanly, I say this, and then very cleanly cleaned it up with a Divine Departure. Divine Departure, a fantastic new card in the Shanks build from OP10, kind of giving you a versatility of options of either 3K to your leader as a 1-cost counter, or 6 Dawn to KO an 8,000 or less. So very cleanly being able to clean up the Rayleigh is pretty nice. Takes a little bit of pressure off of the left Shanks player, especially now that Lucky Roo is just on the board as a potential blocker here. Effectively an additional life, but we're going to see a second Rayleigh come down. Second Rayleigh gonna take care of the Lucky Roo, gonna give Shanks that -2K again, and I think we're going to see a very similar play to last turn here. Likely going to just see a 13K going to a 9K here, and based on that math, Shanks has to give up his whole hand, right? If it's all counter to get out of the Shanks on Shanks violence. Do see a Roger in hand, so definitely does not have the counter to save it at this point. So this is gonna be pretty tough, right? So it's either you swing at this Shanks character, or you just go for lead, potentially just trying to go for game. It's just gonna go for game here. Well, not go for game, but go ahead and set Shanks down to 0. Notably, there's a Roger in hand, so kill condition is online, but there are no blockers on our right player's side here. So with quite a few cards in hand, at this point you're just gonna swing, likely just swing 5k, 11k, and then play the Roger out. Unfortunately, Shanks just able to negate that first attack pretty simply. Is pretty gross. We're gonna see. Yeah, it looks like 5k. I think that was going into the other Shanks. I think this was... Where was that going? The 12k into leader. 5... That was only 11k. 2k plus 3k? Now I'm confused. Because Shanks itself is an 11k. So 11k into 11k would have not required that much counter. So I think... Was there another 2k in there? Now I need to go, like, rewind the tape. Alright, I checked the tape and I remembered exactly. That Shanks is actually quite a bit smaller because of the Rayleigh effect. So that Shanks had minus 3k. So 5k counter to get out of that made a whole lot of sense. So we saw Nami come down. Nami, another Nami just swinging in there, getting a little feisty. How much Dawn was that? I hope it was at least 4 Dawn underneath that. And now we're going to see a Sanji blocker come down. Shanks being able to get out of that 9k swing pretty much turned off the ability for that left player to go for game here, just because the Roger was kind of the other out here. But we're going to see a 12k go in, and then the block, and then a big old 18k going, and that cleans up game. The double Rayleigh into Rayleigh, shutting down the Shanks, making Shanks just such a tiny little attacker. Really made it worthwhile for this the Shanks player on the right to kind of control the game and go for game at the end there. That we're gonna be potentially going I think in the finals next round. I think one of these players does get the down pair. And yeah, if you like this type of gameplay, definitely subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.